sir.
Evening, Miss Kelly. How are you doing?
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm blessed.
Yeah, great. Your
We
banner
just
looks nice. I see it behind you, your banner.
the banner. Oh, yeah. Well,
It's
what
you peeking over your own shoulder.
I kind of was thinking that. Look at this creepy guy. I was like, oh, yeah. I just put a little stuff together. A little fireman, a little the Big Brother Paranormal Talk and Decker show, little skits on I'm saying Paranormal 911, and I left an open spot. That's what I call the future spot. We'll
That's
see what
right.
happens
That's
with
right.
the
Right.
magical mystery tour of Keith and Kelly
Yeah,
Talk at
yeah,
Paranormal.
yeah. That's right.
Speaking of cool,
What?
tonight's show,
Oh my gosh.
extreme viewer experiences.
It was so hard when we were all like backstage here a minute ago not to be like, just give me a preview. Like what? Tell me a little bit about your story, like enough. Like I'm really excited, about the guests we have on and the people that are coming to tell their stories. And hi, Greg O'Brien, happy belated birthday! I see you in the chat. So
Greg O'Brien,
that's
very,
right.
very cool guy out there. I think I've yet to meet him.
Oh my gosh, Greg's
but
so much fun.
2022 holds opportunities for a lot of fun stuff.
That's right.
So that's what's going to be super cool. So I'm
That's
looking
right.
super forward to it.
Yeah.
Wow. So far for tonight's show, I will tell you, a lot of folks have reached out and mentioned about, hey, I have some things and some stuff that I've done. I'm like, well, I think it's about time to have a show where it is about the people who listen and watch the show and have that where it's a special experience. So that's what we call it. It's kind of the extreme viewer. There's some really cool stuff out there that we're going to have tonight and is even up in some links that are out there that, folks, I'm telling you, some of the ones who are the naysayers, there's some stuff out there that when you see these, you're going to have to sit there and sell me on one you're thinking it may not be something because it is some stuff.
Yeah. Oh.
But we're looking forward to it.
Yes. So, and guess what else? Tonight, for the first time, we have a little mini sponsorship break sponsored by our number one sponsor. And there's going to be a trivia question with a prize that's getting mailed out right away.
I know there's some things that I need to catch up to. I mentioned the prizes because.
No, I'm talking about tonight.
Oh, I know.
Tonight I'm going to mail it out.
We've talked about that.
Yeah.
Kelly with some of her cool stuff. I mean, why wouldn't you want something cool from Kelly?
I had to pass the trivia question first. Like I had to learn the trivia question before I could ask it. It doesn't, I don't think it like makes me look good that I had to learn it first.
Well,
I had to learn it first. And yeah, so we'll do that, about halfway through or closer to the end. But tonight we have our guest. Hey, John. Hi, John McGinnis.
John McGinnis.
But yeah, we're going to get started tonight because I know, like, I'm sure people are ready to hear the stories like we are. So we're going to bring on our first guest. Do you want to introduce him?
Go ahead, because I know y'all got a chance to talk, and he's a super cool guy.
So we're going to bring in our friend from a cryptid world first to tell his most intense story. So we're going to bring Tom Cardos on. Tom, I'm going to bring you on now, and we'll move you around a little bit on the screen there, Keith. There we go. Okay. Hi, Tom. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, his mic's off.
There he is.
Sorry, I'm back. Sorry. Well, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me. Those of everyone that's in the chat that doesn't know who I am, I'm from the North Carolina Cryptid and Paranormal Project, and I've always been into the subject since I was young. I grew up in New Jersey. New Jersey is very paranormal. You got the Spy House, which is along the Jersey Shore. It's an old fashioned from I believe it's from before the Civil War, and they had the Revolutionary War. They had soldiers barracked in this quarters. And there's a lot of paranormal activity there. It's like right along the beach. There used to be underground tunnels that led to the ocean where they would sneak things in and bootleg and whatnot. That being said, there's also a Marlboro Mental Institution, which is in Marlboro, New Jersey. That's knocked down now. It's a golf course. But that was built in the 1800s, and it housed like several thousands of people at the time that were considered, you know, feeble-minded and whatnot, and they had their own crematorium there. That the bodies that were unclaimed, they would, you know, cremate them and whatnot, and it was a full self-preserved, self-sufficient compound where they farmed their food, plants, and crops and animals. But over the 90s, it kind of got bad rap, like every other mental institution, and it wound up getting shut down. And then they kept it as like a rehabilitation for drug addicts and alcoholics and whatnot. But me and my friends would go on the property with flashlights and break in and try to like duck from the security. And back then, in you know the late '90s, there was no kind of paranormal equipment, so we would just go in just with flashlights and we'd see orbs and stuff, and we just hear noises and feel shadows coming at you. Some spot you'd have the cold spots and all that. Well, with that being said, and do you have any questions for me or no? Because I was going to go on with my story, my actual.
No, go ahead. Yeah, no, I'm like on the edge of my seat, ready for this.
Yeah,
Story,
my supreme paranormal experience. So, me and my fiance were living in a house in New Jersey that my brother owned. It was in White House Station area of Reddington, New Jersey, which isn't too far from Flemington and Round Valley, New Jersey. And Round Valley is spooky as anything because Round Valley Reservoir was an actual community. And what they did was they flooded the land, and they wound up just flooding people out and killing a bunch of people out there. So it was already creepy, and there's all kinds of mysterious missing persons that go into that reservoir fishing and don't come back. And that's like the legend that, you know, the spirits suck them into the water and they never make it. With that being said, where I lived was only about 3 miles from the reservoir. It was an old house. I mean, it was a real old house. The homeowner died. The husband died in the house, and the wife wound up moving out to like an old age facility. So me and my brother start renovating the house. We start remodeling. We start ripping carpet out. We start throwing stuff in the dumpster, furniture, whatever was left behind. We just give it a whole facelift, remodel, paint it. And I didn't move into it yet until my wife came to be with me from North Carolina, because she was actually living in North Carolina at the time. And she lived in New Jersey, but she moved to North Carolina. She came back to New Jersey. We lived in a house. And I didn't really notice nothing at first until like we started actually living there for a good maybe a month or two. And she would constantly say she was seeing things in the corner of her eye. She'd see these shadows of a man, and she described it as an older African-American man. And that was the actual person that lived in the house that died. His name was Levi. And then you went into the basement, and it was a creepy basement. It was an old, well, Kelly, you know this because you're from Pennsylvania. Those old basements where it's like cobblestone with cement,
like a ground cellar,
and it's a full ground cellar, but it's and the floors are like just jagged concrete. Well, it reminded you of the Blair Witch Project house. Like to the T, like that's how it was, and nobody would go into this house, into the basement, but me. And the washer and dryer was down there, so I was like, I'd bring everything, wash it, and bring it upstairs, and she'd take care of it. But she wouldn't go in the basement. No one would go in the basement. It was just creepy. It was blocked off in different sections. One section got darker, and there was like a big wooden table, and it looked like an old butcher table or something. It was creepy, needless to say, and it felt very heavy down there because every time I went down there, it just did not feel right. Well, that being said, we started noticing the bathroom is upstairs in the hallway, and there's probably about a 20-foot hallway, and it's probably about 3 foot wide. Well, right in the center is where the bathroom is, and every time you walk by the bathroom, you got the cold chills, you got the hair standing up on the back of your neck. I mean, you got that feeling where something wasn't right. You knew, like, you know, I'm not psychic, but I felt that energy that just did not feel right. Pins and needles, you know, the cold sweat spell, all that. I mean, it even dropped 5 degrees easily just in that area. And we had cats. We had Siamese cats. We had 2 other cats, and they would always zip across that hallway, and they would never stop. They would never stop by the bathroom. They always zip by and they zoom, like rocket ships. So one day, my brother was over, and we're doing something, and we had an area rug across the hallway. Well, one day the area rug it went from one side to the other. It folded up like an accordion, and it just bunched up back. And he saw that, and his eyes got really big, and like he just looked like he saw a ghost, and he's like, "I'm out of here, guys. This is all you." So after that, we started noticing more stuff. Seemed like whatever was occupying that house did not like me, and it liked her, but it didn't like me. Like it was drawn to her, but it didn't like me. Like I always just felt like it was on top of me no matter where I went. Like I always felt like I was being watched. I always feel like something was on top of me or just a heaviness of air. I mean, it was crazy. So that being said, I'm going to get to the good part now. So I'm a hunter. Keith knows that. I hunt deer. I'm a deer hunter. I'm a bow hunter. Whatever, I'm going to get the big, the big rack. But by the way, I got my deer meat on Saturday, Keith.
Yes.
I got my my freezer's full. Neck roast, sausage, cube
Kelly's
steak.
headed to your house. Scoot over.
Yeah. I got a whole freezer full of venison now. If I'm happy.
Here comes Kelly. She's all.
I mean, I just went to Sam's Club today, but
Kelly,
no deer meat to be had, but I went there. So
well, you're going to Tom's. He's calling.
Evidently, I got the vegetables for this.
I'll have to like make a frozen dry ice pack and send you one of those packages of sausage and maybe some roast.
Oh, there you go.
But that being said, I'm in the basement, and I always keep my hunting stuff in the basement because when you come out of the basement on the backside, we had those storm doors that opened up to go in the backyard. So I would just go out of the basement through the backyard into the woods, and there was just hundreds of acres to hunt. So one morning, I'm up at like 5:30, 5:45, but still dawn, still no sun out, still dark. I'm getting my hunting gear on, getting everything set up, getting my bow ready, and I'm just about getting ready to put my boots on, right? And something in the back of my mind saying, look in the boot. So I get up, I pick the boot up, and I look into it with my little headlamp flashlight. I see something shiny. I'm like, what is that? So I shake it a little bit, and then I fold it over, and, into my hand comes a razor broadhead arrowhead in my boot. So if I put my foot into that boot, I'd probably be walking handicapped these days if I did that. But something my intuition told me, check the boot. Wow. So ever since that day, I was creeped out because obviously whatever was in that house wanted me hurt and wanted me gone. So crazy. And she had a point where my wife at the time, or my fiance at the time, now she's my wife, but she had a time where she was in the bedroom and she started hearing all these weird noises like wolves howling outside. And there was no wolves in New Jersey at the time. And then she started seeing a shadow of a person coming at her. And all she knew what to do is she grabbed a crucifix and hid under the bed and put the covers over her head until it went away. So stuff like that. It was constantly happening back and forth, and eventually she moved back to North Carolina, and then I followed her not too long after I had some business to attend to and finalize some things. And after we left that house, here's the funny part. Here's the really crazy part. We left the house, and my brother rented out to his workers. They were like South American, migrants from like Guatemala. Mm-hmm. So he had about 10 of them living in that house. Well, every month he would have 2 leave, and they would just start blabbling about Spirito. And then after almost a year, he only had 4 of them living in that house, and they went and got a priest from their church to bless the house twice, and it still didn't do nothing. And eventually he only had 2 of them living in the house, and now the house is it's leveled, it's gone now. But that's the story of that house. That house was creepy. And here's the crazy part. We found out that because my sister-in-law did some research, some history records. She found out that it wasn't the husband that was tormenting us. The husband was actually being nice to us. It was they had a friend staying there, and he was dark. He was he wasn't right in the head. Well, remember I told you about the bathroom, how he always felt weird by the bathroom, and in the shower you felt like someone was like on top of you, and no matter what you did in that area. Well, this person went in that bathroom and blew their brains out in the bathroom. So that's where the residual energy was projecting so high from. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's interesting. And then to find that out later is it
just
solidifies it, no doubt.
The nail on the coffin. Yeah.
Wow. Well, and thank goodness, like in that instance, I always think it's really meaningful when you can find out the history of the place then, because that validation explains a lot, whether or not at the time, you and your wife obviously were like corresponding about your experiences, but what validation then to be able to have that history and totally understand why you experienced what
Lori
you
put it down. Do you see what Lori put there, Tom?
Yeah.
She's like, whoop, glad we don't live there anymore.
Yeah.
I guess that's just a creepy old
Well,
place.
here's the other thing. When we lived in North Carolina, when we first moved out in North Carolina, we lived in a little house out by the airport. But we moved into a house that her grandmother owned, and we wound up finding out that the lady that lived in the house killed herself, committed suicide in that house, and there was a huge red stain on the carpet that never left. But the thing was, no matter what, we lived in a house for 2.5 to 3 years tops. The crazy thing is, we never felt anything negative, any presence whatsoever. So I don't know if she moved on, or she knew that we were related to the owner of the house and she didn't want to bother us, because when we found that out, I was like, oh my God, not another haunted house, please.
Yeah.
Like, Beetlejuice, help me.
You had your fill with the last one.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's amazing. I'm glad you had validation. I'm glad you all were okay. I mean, I think too, after experiences like that, it's almost like you said, you moved into that other house, but it's almost like you need a decompression time or like a detox from that sort of energy time. So I hope that eventually you got that.
Yeah, well, we bought, now we live in a new house that was built 5 years ago. So as long as the land's not cursed by natives, we're good. So nothing's happened yet. So thank God. Don't want that poltergeist thing to come, with the whole movie with being built on a cemetery or, burial mounds.
Yeah, no antiques from the antique store that are 2
Yeah.
years old.
That's right.
Like, no, not doing it.
No Dybbuk boxes in this house. No, sir.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing from y'all had it. Y'all are done. Wow. Well, geez.
That's amazing.
So
So
the
can
carpet
people
thing too, like the visual, like, wow, that's intense.
So can people reach out to you on social media if they just want to talk to you, be your friend, whatever? Because you've really got quite a bit of stuff going on out there. How do they get in touch with you, Tom?
I mean, they can contact me, Thomas Cardos, on my Cryptid Paranormal, on that Facebook account, because I have 2 accounts. One's for like family and personal stuff, and the other one's for my Cryptid page and followers and eyewitnesses, guests, and friends that are in the paranormal community and cryptid community. So they can contact me that way. They can go to North Carolina Cryptid and Paranormal Project, become a member of the group. There's only a couple questions to ask. And I post a lot of stuff, mainly cryptid stuff, because I had a Bigfoot experience in 1998. Me and my brother were bear hunting in Canada, and we were about 60 to 80 yards from one. And we didn't know what it was. We thought it was, first we thought it was a bear, and then it stood up on 2 legs. And this thing was about 10 foot tall, 5 foot wide, and it just... It pounded the ground bipedally. You could hear 2 steps, and we could feel the ground moving when it took off. And as we left that area, we didn't leave right away. We stayed, and we kind of looked at each other like, what the F was that? So we got out of there, and as we got out of there, we're being flanked, and we're getting whooped at, we're getting whistled at, we're getting barked at. I mean, we're all kinds of noises that you can't imagine. And it sounds like they're right on top of you, but they're probably 40 to 60 yards off. And all they're doing is they're kind of, running us off, trying to get us out of there, paralleling us and whatnot, and flanking us. So once we got out of there, we got to the main trail, and it got louder and louder. And then finally, we're kind of like back to back. We're both rifle to rifle, back to back. We're like, we got 4 shots each. We're going to make the best of it. And all of a sudden, we're like, we look up and we see the headlights of the hunting guide that was driving the Suburban through the trails, because it's old logging trails. And he picked us up, and once he came, like within 40 yards from us, the noises stopped. Everything got quiet. The forest was normal again, and we hadn't experienced that. You can't make up. You can't take it back. Once you have a experience like that, it changes your whole philosophy on life. So because of that, I was able to collect my thoughts. I was able to get with people that had experiences like that, and I wound up starting my own page to help people that have traumatic experiences talk about their encounters. And they can, once you talk about these things, with people that understand, it's easier to relive that encounter and experience, and it doesn't really take a toll on your mind anymore. And it's almost like setting your soul free when you talk about it to people that understand. And I did it for that reason, because there's a lot of people that don't want to talk about what happened to them or what they saw in the woods, or they're scared. I had a guy recently that had he had 3 encounters with a dog man. And after coming on another show with me and my partner Carlito, and then he came on my show again, he's able to go. He just told me yesterday he was able to go camping and hunting in the woods for a week by himself without being worried of these things coming after him. So we helped him out, and he, I told him, I was like, dude, you can call me anytime you want. If it's 3 a.m, you're having a hard time, just call me. I'll talk to you. So that's what I do. I try to get the truth out there because there's things out in the woods that you can't fathom. I can't even fathom. And, the powers that be try to silence it and try to keep it at bay. But things are out there, and that's my job to bring the truth out and, not expose, but just bring the truth out, show people that, it's okay to go out. You're not gonna be booger bait if you go down the trails, but you got to be careful. You got to be cautious. You got to watch your surroundings as well. You can't just go out like la-di-da, la-di-da, looking at your phone because you can get taken up by a cougar or a
Right.
bobcat, a wolf, coyote, bear. So
Wow. Well, maybe what we could do is I'd like to talk with you more about my own cryptid experiences and
yeah.
you too. So maybe we could have you on another time to talk about that, or, we could hop on your show. But then that way we could talk more about those.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
Because
That's
I want to hear more about your experiences with those for sure. And I have a couple, so.
Yeah, I mean, I have my property that I live in North Carolina is active, and that's what actually made me start my page, is because it's from North Carolina, and I live on the outskirts of the city limits of Charlotte, but I have a huge 35-mile creek that goes forever, and there's a greenway trail, a quarter mile from my house. Well, it's a perfect habitat for any cryptid that's out there. There's plenty of deer out here because I killed a deer back in my property last Saturday, and then coming back from the butcher, a deer came and gave me revenge and ran in my truck. So,
gosh.
Yep.
Talk about karma.
Yeah, right?
You can't make this stuff up, but it is what it is. The truck's in the body shop. Insurance is taken care of. I'm just happy that I'm okay. It didn't do any major damage. It's just a little fender bender stuff. But nowadays with body work, it's like they're all about making money. So thank God for good insurance. That's all I can say.
I know.
Exactly. Aw. Well, thank you so much for coming on and
coming
sharing
on.
your story with us. That's amazing. I hope that you have more peaceful paranormal experiences after that first one. But if anybody wants to reach out to Tom, he did say how to reach him on Facebook with questions, and we'll have to link up again to talk more cryptid things for sure.
Absolutely. Well, you guys have my information whenever you want to do something again. I usually do my shows on Saturday nights around 8 or 9 o'clock. So, and with the holidays, I usually take a week or two off for holidays because nobody wants to do a show on Christmas,
And it is a Saturday this year too.
Yeah,
so yeah,
exactly.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time, and
thanks
happy you wanted to hop on your busy day with us. So thank you.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. It was an honor to be on your show tonight.
Thanks, man.
Until next time. See you soon. Yep.
All right.
Bye. Oh my gosh, that would be so intimidating. Holy moly.
I know, that's what I was thinking about that. So I got a very cool message from Mike. He's got down there that he's trying to reach out to us. So maybe he's somewhere in the midst there or backstage and then we got Bob as well too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. And we're ready. So you go ahead and introduce Bob.
Folks, we're about to bring on probably one of quintessential, no doubt about it, one of the most probably, I would say, loved and respected guys out there doing what he does in the paranormal. Bob Burnell is a very much studious, kind of all-around investigator, a little bit of research, tech, very knowledgeable on EVPs and getting those. He's investigated with numerous people in the field, and certainly is someone who I have grown to know and respect. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Mr. Bob Burnell.
Yay!
Hi, Keith. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Bob. Thanks for hanging out.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, we're so glad to have you on. I can't wait to hear your story. And
Me
you have
either.
visuals.
He's got visuals. And
yeah, he's got visuals. I'm so excited. So tell us, Bob. Tell us all about it.
So here we go.
Okay. Well, here, let me pull up my screen here. Hopefully this goes well.
Yep, there we go.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, do you all see this?
Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah.
Okay, this is in the Farnsworth house in Gettysburg.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you can see me on the left there. I'm taking a photograph with my Canon and the flash is going off. Now look on the bottom right of the screen and you see a black case there. And it actually looks like there's a lens flare there on the very edge of the case. It looks like a cheeseburger there or something.
Okay.
But look underneath of that to the left and tell me what you see. Do you see right where my pointer is pointing? It looks like two little hands right there.
Oh,
You can see the fingers, and there's like two arms that just start nowhere, and it's like they're trying to open the edge of the case. And in the Farnsworth house, there's this spirit supposedly called Jeremy.
Okay.
I'm going to bring up a picture of him now.
Side note, Farnsworth House has delicious food.
Oh, very good food.
Not related to the paranormal at all, but it's delicious.
Yep. So this is a thermal image. If you look on the top left,
okay.
Can you see my mouse pointer itself?
Yeah.
Okay. So this looks like the hairline right here, a couple eyes, a nose, shoulders, and I have different. This is on a thermal camera that I took this photograph.
Wow.
I'll bring up another one.
And where was that inside the Farnsworth house?
That was in the same room. I had literally just turned my hips around 180 and I was shooting into the bathroom. And you can see it a little clearer here in the yellow. And you can almost make out his face, you know? And the funny thing was, I had one of those, it's just a little pocket FLIR camera, like the C1 or whatever it's called. And I was looking through the FLIR and I could see him. And then I would look with my naked eye at the same spot and I couldn't see him at all.
Really?
And I have another video of me showing that to Justin, Billy's son. And we're just amazed that we can see it through the FLIR and we can't see it when we're not. So, yeah.
And Bob, do you have do you consider yourself sensitive as well? Because like you had that notion to turn. And,
I don't know, Kelly, to be honest with you. Maybe a little. I grew up in a wicked haunted house, so I'm just naturally jumpy, you know?
Oh, okay.
So, okay, here is. We're in the attic of the Farnsworth house.
Okay.
And I got my FLIR camera again, and you can see I'm pointing it right on this shadow figure against and there's a window frame right there. And to the right of that dark shadow. And you can see it's 68.2 degrees in the room. And I'm pointing this on this shadow figure, and it's 25.2 degrees. So it's cold, and this is April. And I mean, it was cool outside, but it wasn't 26 degrees cool outside. It was in the 45, 50s, something like that, you know? This was like April 16th, I think we were there or something.
That's interesting.
Wow. Oh my gosh. And what a temperature difference.
Oh, yeah, big time. And
what, Keith? What were you going to say?
No, that's a mark. That's like a mark difference.
Yeah.
That's like you can't. Yeah, that's a mark.
Oh my gosh, Bob! Look at that.
We're in the basement of the Farnsworth house, and maybe I am a little psychic, Kelly, because I turned and took this photograph with the FLIR, and there was nothing there. I didn't see anything, and look, if you look where my point is pointing, that's like an eye.
Right.
There's could be like another eye here. There's a bridge of a nose that comes down.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's like the chin with the goatee. coming off of the chin and the cheekbone. And here, I'll pull up the black and white of the same thing.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I'll tell you what, too, that room, that basement, I mean, even for
There
those.
you go. You can see it a little clearer there. This is the
Oh,
black
yeah,
and
look.
white. Just
Yeah.
it's not a, IR thing.
Yeah.
You can definitely see the image there, and I think it was actually Billy that told me to take a picture over there. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, those are real. That's interesting because you got some really good, the whole, with the face and then of course the eyes, nose, mouth, the whole thing. That's very intriguing.
But I'll tell you what, even the people that did the tours, like I've done the Farnsworth House history tour, and once you get to that basement, it is a different vibe for sure. And then
Well, I tell you,
capture those pictures. Wow.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Keith.
No, it's funny when she said what she said, and to validate what you're saying, Bob, a girl named Ashley Brennan. I don't know if some people know her.
I love Ashley Brennan.
I met her there, and that's where we had our investigation. Is in that basement.
Yeah,
and it was so extreme that night that Ashley said we just need to get out of here. And we took a picture when she says I'm about to pass out. Of course, I'm a paramedic. I came up there, and on one side she has this huge white, like this humanoid around her, and on the other side was a red one. And it was, and she said she didn't know the picture I had took, and she told me, and at the time because I kept taking pictures for her, and when I did, and she told me that, I says, look at what I captured at the time you said that, and she said I felt like I was being like this, like pull one way to the other.
Yeah,
and like so, what Bob is saying when he said he felt, that's so crazy of how that just validifies what people are saying. You at the time you feel something kind of crazy.
Yeah. Oh,
We were staying across the street from the French fry guy there. I forget the name of the hotel.
Yeah.
Right in Gettysburg, but the guy has great lemonade too. But anyway, we rented a room at the Farnsworth. The only way they would let us in, we had to rent 2 rooms.
Okay.
So we rented the Sarah Black room and the Sweeney room right behind it, because they didn't want us upstairs if they rented the rooms to somebody else. And I guess that's understandable.
Sure.
But that whole place was just super active the whole time we were there. We had a couple red pods that were just going off continuously.
Wow.
And I had long hair at the time, and I had a ponytail, and it was tugged pretty hard upstairs as well. First time I'd ever been touched. So that was kind of trippy. Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, that's awesome. Is this from the Farnsworth house too, Bob?
No, this is from the James house in New Hampshire. And this is an EVP we caught up in the attic. I'm going to play it for you. And I looped this at the end so you can hear the answer. Do you hear that?
I thought I heard something, but it was really soft there. I mean, I couldn't hear too many loud voice. Like if you were asking questions, I couldn't hear those voices, but I thought I heard something there at the end.
I could hear it a lot clearer, but there's a voice there saying amen after I say amen.
Oh, okay.
So that's what that is. But here, let me get rid of this. Okay.
That house that you were just in, Bob, is that a public location or is that a private?
Um, that's a location that it's like a historic house
Oh, okay.
in New Hampshire that we went to, and yeah, it's like $150 for the night.
Oh, wow.
So we brought our whole team there for a
Oh,
short
nice.
break, you know, and it goes back to the house, so it's a good thing there. Okay, so this is a from the Conjuring House,
Oh, okay.
and in Rhode Island. Let me see if I can play this. Do you hear that? Right at the only words that. Let me turn it up a little too. Hang on. It's right in here. I don't know if you can hear it or. Maybe you can't.
No, I don't think I can hear that, Bob.
Okay, well, I'm gonna move on.
No,
That's saying "fuck you" is what it's saying. Oh yeah, I had never been told to be, effed off before, Keith.
I get why you want to move on. Then, yeah, I get that. Okay.
Wow. He must have been a real hottie pants. Huh?
Now, listen to this one, and I'm going to tell you what I hear, and then you. Actually, I'll play it once and see if you can hear it. Hang on. Did you hear that? There were 2 EVPs right there.
Is there any way to turn your audio up a little bit, Bob?
I'm sorry?
Is there any way to turn your volume on your computer up a little bit? Or is that
Yep.
high?
Hang
Okay.
on. You're not hearing it, huh?
I heard it's louder than it was before, but it's still very hard to hear.
Well,
Maybe a little
the
bit
very,
more.
very beginning, and I might have sent you these files, Kelly.
Oh, okay.
If you wanted to play them on your end or whatever, or later on or whatever. But
Okay.
it's what I'm getting is in the very beginning, it's saying Satan, and then it says Bob. And it's just weird. And this is upstairs and off the birthing room in the Conjuring House.
Wow. And when were you there, Bob?
We were there January 1st.
Oh, okay. So a New Year's. New Year's investigation.
Yep. Right. I'm going to try one more EVP here. And this one is really clear, I think. So hopefully you can hear it.
I really like EVPs. I think it's the volume. I think that's the reason I can't hear it. But other than that, I think these are amazing captures. Wow.
I'm going to stop it for a second. If you look where the red line is in the whited area, when that gets to the very end, you're going to see 2 spikes, audio spikes right there.
Okay.
When that red line gets to those 2 audio spikes, I hear 2 words.
Oh, okay.
And I posted this on The Real Deal, and everybody got it right away. So hopefully you can hear it. It's stalled. I froze up here. Hang on.
And I know, Bob, sometimes too, if you can hear it in your headphones, it might be going back out your headphones instead of playing out loud on your computer. So I don't know if you want to try unplugging your headphones. Maybe we could hear you better.
Okay. All right, let me put it on speakers and see if you can hear it that way. Again, at the very end, the two spikes. Right there.
Oh, wow.
Were you able to hear that?
Yeah, we could definitely hear it that time. I caught the two different voices too. Is that what you were noting?
What did you hear? For
I don't know. The
white
first
whale.
voice looked like two. What did you hear, Bob?
I hear white whale.
Okay.
WHEE whale.
Okay.
And funny enough, the James house, this was like 1852, and they had just come out with Moby Dick. I don't know if that's related because this is right by Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And a big whaling community, you know?
Wow. Oh, that's amazing.
Okay.
Yep.
I
You got some good captures from that place. That may have to be on my bucket list. Like, that place seems really good.
I caught maybe 50 EVPs there.
Wow.
Yeah. I got 3 more photographs and I'm done.
Well, I'm loving your evidence, Bob. You got a lot of good stuff.
If you look on the far left, I'm going to put my mouse right over him. Do you see the guy I'm pointing at?
Oh, yeah.
And now here, I got some zoomed in pictures of him. Hang on. So you can clearly make them out there.
Wow. Oh, for sure. Wow.
Now, this was in broad daylight. And this is up at Burial Hill in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
And there he is again. And I was standing right behind this waste bucket. Now, there's no electricity up here at all. Okay. We were getting, we had K2 meters at the time. And Billy and I were up here. And this is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And the K2 meters were going off the chart, just red. I got videos of that. But so I was taking a photograph looking for something that was in front of us that would cause the K2 to go off. There was nobody there, yet I caught this guy on the left. And and he wasn't, I never saw him in real life. You know what I mean? I got photographs of him. Well, it's the same photograph, but zoomed in and out. And we, neither me nor Billy ever saw him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, he was having a field day with your K2 then.
But now, if you look straight on, there was 2 people. There's a guy with a white shirt, straight back. You can see the white shirt and the head, but there was nobody up there on the left like that. There were 3 people down below the hill from us. But yeah, and it was just after going over the photographs, I just happened to notice them.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Those were awesome captures, Bob. Thanks for sharing with us. My gosh. Like, you caught some really good stuff.
I'm sorry that the EVPs didn't seem to translate too well, but.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, Bob, how do people, if they want to reach out to you and with some of your evidence and locations and advice, if you recommend maybe going to these places, how do they reach out to you and get in touch with you?
Well, we've got our group has our own Facebook page on Tempest, the Eastern Massachusetts Paranormal Investigative Services Team.
Nice.
Okay. And also I run on The Real Deal Paranormal Evidence, and you could always drop me a line there if you want to.
Cool stuff.
That is awesome.
Bob, with the words and the pictures.
Yeah, that's right.
My goodness. I'm like, geez. That's a lot of stuff.
That's fantastic. Oh,
Bob.
We're so glad you came on to show us that stuff. That's amazing.
Yes, Bob. As I said before,
go to our site, Tempest, and we've got all of our photographs and videos from everything we've ever done is on that site, so you can view them all at your leisure.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's
Well,
awesome.
Bob, we can't say enough happies and thank yous, and not only for supporting the show, now obviously getting to be someone who has been a part of the show and one of our very dear friends of the show. But we consider you family. You're just not another person that's out
Well,
there.
thank you very much.
We talk out. So you are in fact the man. And your conversation the other day with the man as well, like I said, and I mentioned, and I said he's a sharp guy, and he's like, he is.
Oh,
And what I love, I'll tell you this, and I've said it before. Bob Burnell is a salt of the earth guy. You're gonna say, Bob, what's your thoughts? He's like, Keith, let me tell you, just down to earth. He's gonna tell you it might make your cookies crumble a little, but sometimes that's what this world needs to really kind of put things into perspective, and
I'm
that's why.
unfortunate. I don't have a filter,
And that's probably why you and me get along so good.
I was gonna say that's my favorite type of person. Like, just don't filter it.
And and
give it to me straight. That's right.
Lord knows, in this world, as we well know, there are a lot of folks eating sprinkled donuts underneath the rainbow, hoping that they get to have their green tea and latte and keep squeezing the tree. But my heart pumps cold crunchy peanut butters for those. So have a nice damn day.
That was so many visuals at one time in my brain.
Sorry.
Like
I'm a nice guy 99% of the time, but there's that 1% where I'm like, no. No.
Oh,
So,
well,
Bob,
thank you so much, Bob. Like,
you're a man.
I love seeing your evidence.
And I love your show. You guys are doing
Hey,
awesome job.
We have some we appreciate it. We have some very cool things in the future, and we're going to be getting with you and letting you see your thoughts. So we appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get up for our one and only Mr. Bob Burnell, folks. We're going to blast it out with this guy.
Oh,
yes,
well, thank you, Bob. And I'm sure we'll talk very soon, but thank you so much for coming on. And Keith, we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Did you like the creepy Christmas music? Did you like it? Did you like the creepy Christmas?
First of all, you got to understand my mind, and for the folks who probably know, but the ones who don't, I already very much have a very cartoon mind. It's the reason I laugh so much, and people say, "What are you thinking?" I said, "You have to be in my head in the movie theater watching my picture show to understand." I'm the kind of guy where you could be just ripping me saying, and another thing, Keith, let me tell you what. And you know what I hear? It's the Peanuts teacher. Wah, 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 wah. And then I look at them and say, are you done? So that's me. So that little skit right there was a moment. I love that.
Flip, you're famous now.
Flip is indeed famous, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only.
Yes.
Flip.
That's right.
But, Flip was probably there long before so many were, because where do you not go where somebody love him or hate him, hug him, kiss him, call him nice names or not? People know Flip,
Listen,
and
we got a trivia question that I had to learn before I asked the trivia question. So I'm gonna wait until after Mike's story. But I have to ask the trivia question so we get our winner tonight and they get a prize right from Flip from his amazing Hero collection.
Store. So is Mike hanging out waiting?
Mike's ready. Are you ready too?
Let's do this.
Yeah. All right. Hi, Mike.
Mike catching in there.
What's up, buddy?
Thank you for hanging out with us, Mike. We're glad you finally joined. Like we could get you on tech problems tonight.
I'll do a quick introduction, very quick. Mike is a dear friend of mine who's gotten to be now where he knows Kelly. I've gotten to go on a cruise with Mike on a trip where we had a blast.
Wait. You went on a cruise to
Oh, this is
investigate.
back
Was
A
this
fun
before we
cruise.
knew each other?
2019 or so. Yeah. It
No.
was
Okay. Well, I knew you then, but I'll let it go. I'll
with
let it go. We
Ben
didn't have a show
Hansen.
then, so
Yeah, Ben Hansen back in the day, and was such a nice guy. But we got the Queen Mary. We were there. That was really a
right.
blast. But hey, Mike Catching, folks, if you haven't seen some of his stuff that he puts out there, down here where I'm at, kind of Galveston corridor down that way. And oh my, is there not a lot of stuff down there to do? But I'm gonna without a further ado, folks, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mike Catching.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, thanks for coming on.
This is my first time doing this kind of stuff. So if I start stuttering, and whatever, please forgive me.
Oh my gosh. We're just happy that you like struggled through the technology to join us this
Right.
evening.
Like I say, I had to download Firefox because it wouldn't let me on my Mac.
Really?
So I had to play the game. That's why I was a little bit late getting on. But
Oh my gosh, you're fine. That's great. We appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, well, I got into it investigating about 6 years ago. We had a shop in Galveston down in the historic district.
Okay.
The building we were in was built around 1857, 1860. And things started happening. And I had a set of pink pliers that I had on my workbench. And I'd come in and they were sitting on my bench. And I said, I knew I put them up. Something's going on. So I put them up. A day or two later, they're on my bench again. So I get Kathy in there and say, come here and look at this. I know I put them up. So I put them up at the end of the day. And okay, we both look at it. Well, a few days later, they're back on my bench again. I said, what the hell? So I got one of the security cameras off the wall and I made a little board that I point the camera at my workbench. And sure enough, the pink pliers are in the little holder and they'll work their way up and they'll follow my bench.
Oh my gosh.
You know, it's happened, I think, around 149 times so far. Documented on camera.
Wow.
It, you know, so yeah, it's hard to explain it. I mean, we've had paranormal people come in and, you know, or psychics come in and said there's a little girl, her name is Bella or Belle or Annabelle that plays with and they're always the pink ones. I've got a whole rack full of them, a whole board of different ones, but it's just the pink ones that fall out.
Oh my gosh. Wow. And how long ago was this that you noticed this, like this particular
about 6 or 7 years ago is when it started.
Okay.
But
so did that jumpstart your interest in the paranormal then?
It did, yeah. I mean, kind of got us started. Then my buddy Tim Dalton with Ghost Prowlers, I met him about 6 years ago, which got me more into equipment and toys and more expensive toys and building portals and
more expensive toys and more expensive toys.
Right.
Like, you know, that Keith's shelf. Which direction? Keith's shelf over here, you know.
Well,
right.
Mike's a tech guy. The difference there is this guy, ladies and gentlemen, builds equipment. Now, he doesn't go out and just sits there.
Awesome.
He builds the stuff that he uses. And my hat's off because that's a whole nother level. So
right. Well, I built my first portal using Steve's Huff portal instructions and put it together. Did my own tweaking with it. And then I built another one because my wife Kathy found a little speaker. So she might as well build another one. So I've got two. One I can use with 110 power, and another one with battery power, which you can walk around with a portal and you know, walk around cemeteries or whatever, not have to have electricity.
Yeah.
And then my buddy Tim, you know, he sent me a Connect camera, and it was PVC pipe and twisted and it was a mess. I said, send it to me. Let me see what I can do with it. So I kind of rebuilt it using a camera stand and, you know, rearranged it, and it works great. And I started making them for a while until the price of tablets got too high. It cost me more money than I could sell them. So I got a couple of them. So I use them a lot. And I don't know if you got those pictures that I sent, because I didn't know if I could.
You can show them. Do you want to show them? Sure.
Let me see if I can know how to do this, because like I say, this is my first time to do this.
At the bottom of your screen, there's a little share button.
Share screen.
Yep, there you go.
And what I want to do here.
And then you want to click on the picture. that's there. It looks like your whole screen. Just click on that picture and then click share.
Oh, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I don't know. Do you have them, Keith, that you could share? Or
I'm trying to. I'd have to. Yeah, that for me to have to go back out and then back in and try
yeah,
to see.
like, let me see what happens here. Your browser can't access the screen. Oh well. Anyway, I mean, I got a lot of those out there on Facebook. Or
I was gonna say, and even like afterward too, you can go back and post them, on our page too, or
okay, yeah,
on your, or tell everyone where to find your
Yeah,
page.
but
So,
what's really cool is we got some time. Just tell the story on the one that's the absolute uh super cool about the anomaly, because that's one that has really changed. A lot of people are like, okay, that's different. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, that one's is a 5-minute orb videos. Most people see a picture of an orb or a white ball in a picture. Oh, look, there's an orb. Well, our security cameras run 24/7 all the time, and I just happened to check the cameras that morning, and it was around 7:19 in the morning. I just see this white ball floating in the screen, and it just kind of just slowly just floats through the screen, and then it kind of goes off screen. Then when it comes back, it's just kind of rolling in itself like that.
oh wow.
And then it just floats around, and it gets ready to go, and it's like and takes off. But I put that on Facebook this morning to share it with y'all. But it's got like 17 shares and 200 and something views already just this morning.
And that's so cool about that, folks. Where Mike's shop is down in that district, like he said, is a location that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but was used for the temporary hospital for when the hurricane went through. And
it was, yeah. If you back up, the building was built around 1857 to 1860. Well, New Year's Day, 1863, the Battle of Galveston Civil War starts. You got the North and the South fighting for the port of Galveston. Mm-hmm. So first, I think the Confederate was there occupying our building, and then the Union comes in and they start winning. And I think it flip-flopped back and forth a couple times. But it was the Civil War hospital. Oh. It was what we've been told is the Civil War hospital. So you can definitely feel energies in there, especially if you go into my wife Kathy's reading room. She's a medium and hears, and so there's a reading in there. But you get it's like a vortex in there, a lot of activity.
Wow, that's amazing. But,
yeah.
And how long have you owned that building then?
We've been in that building about 6 years. We were in the building next door about 3 years, and the Pliers moved over there. Was where it first started. And then when we moved over, we thought, well, hope she follows us. And she did, or, so it's still happening.
Wow.
So special.
Yeah.
So very
special. I want to make a point here about the orb, the 5-minute orb video. This happened around 7:19 in the morning. It was just getting daylight. People always think, oh, you got to do ghost investigations at 2:00 in the morning. Spirits are everywhere. They don't go to bed at night or during the day. They just haunt at night. Now they're everywhere all the time, and you can feel them. I can feel them.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a cool place.
Were you? I know you said like around 6 years ago, it kind of piqued your interest, paranormal. But have you had experience your whole life?
No, not really. That it just kind of open my mind up. You get new people come around and kind of teach you, and you learn from them. It's like, rocks and crystals, somebody come in, they're doing this to the rocks and crystals. What are you doing? She goes, feeling energy. It's like, oh, harsh shit. There's energy. But and it's the way with the spirit world, you kind of open yourself up to it and know what to feel for and just be receptive to it.
Yeah. And Mike, can people purchase your equipment? Like, do you make equipment to sell, or is it for your?
I just personal. I was selling like the Kinect cameras. I was selling them and did pretty good. But like I said, when the price of the tablets went up with the China embargoes, and sure. The tablets were costing more than what I could sell them for. The portals, the portals are kind of expensive. I've got over about $1,200 in mine. Mm-hmm. Just, to build a bunch of them and put them on the shelf and sit on them.
Right.
That'd be kind of hard to do.
Well, if anyone has builder related questions, can they reach out to you about that as well?
I can try. I mean,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it's yeah.
It's good to have that knowledge base, a
Mhm.
resource you can go to when you're doing
Right, right.
things.
And Keith brought me one of his, and I worked on his. Because his was kind of looked like, well, it wasn't as bad as Tim's, but
It needed some love. I still speak on so much, and not only about the anomalies in the orb there, Mike, but I still, when you had that of the spirit that welcomes the people coming through, and then when you ask
Mhm.
about, so how many spirits are here? How do we know that you're here? Can you tell us how many are here? And that beautiful haunting way it says thousands
Mhm.
was just like, ooh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's just
we were doing a session that we just had asking questions, and I says, "How many spirits are here with us now?" And a whispery voice goes, "Thousands." They're
Wow.
just that clear,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Wow.
they're everywhere. To say they only come out at night or day, or they're everywhere all the time.
Wow. So really,
It-
your most profound story is what started it all with this
Mhm.
little girl.
Right,
Right.
and
So, to ease into the paranormal, I mean, that's still, and I always say too, to people who are newer, and having experiences, it's still startling, but it's not
Mhm.
to the point of like intimidation. Like when Tom was
Right,
telling us his
right.
story, I was going, ooh, that's pretty, kind of intimidating.
It,
But
there's a lot of people that get freaked out about it.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's creepy. Yeah, no, it's every day.
right.
They're you don't know you don't know who you're messing with or who you're talking to, or
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just another world out there.
Mike. We got some listeners in the chat room in here. We got Tracy Champoo and some others. I see this Kathy West. Okay, yeah.
I heard of
So
her. I'm not sure I know her or not.
so this lady
Aw.
is an angel on earth. Very much intuitive, sweetheart. I don't think there's been a time around she hadn't told me a story about some things with my brother, and
Aw.
there's times I have to step away because I start crying, so I have to find myself.
Oh. Well, thank
Never.
you, Kathy. She shared the link to your video.
She
So
did.
that way people can go on and watch
Okay,
the video with your orb experience.
cool.
I think what we want to do too, and I've mentioned it definitely to Kelly, is to get to have a panel of some amazing intuitive zone, and even just let her a little bit about her world and what she does, even with people, because I think that's another part of the paranormal that gets a very perfect place of how they get to be utilized and what they see, and then what we investigate and how we tie those together. That would be a very cool show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll have to reach out to her for that.
Hello, Kathy.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you, Kathy, for that link.
I think there's a fine line there, of who we speak to, because
Right.
the way I look at it, this is our world, this is their world.
Right.
When people have near-death experiences, I think they go up into that world and come back. I think the spirits do the same thing. That veil is so thin with mediums and everything. They've got that finer tuned sense that they can hear up there.
Yeah,
That's my 2 cents. I mean,
and where's heaven? We
right, and that's another. That's
Mike
another
loves that, and
topic.
I'm like, that's mine. He said it one
Yeah.
time, and I says, that's
Yeah.
it. When I talk to my brother, where are you? How far are you? Way up? Can you see a little speck of us? Are you next to us? Like, where are you? I did have the one I told Mike about it the other day, and it was a beautiful another one I had to share with him, and because I was thinking of Mike at the time about this, and I says, where are you at right now? Are you happy? Is it a beautiful place? Is it peaceful? And this female spirit goes, happy. And I said, okay, so where is that place of happiness? And she almost did like a matter of fact, like heaven, and just went right back to it. Like, well, where do you think I'm happy? Because it's heaven. And I'm like, yes. And it just made me feel warm because to think about the fact of my dad, my mom, my brother being in a place where they're in peace now is a beautiful thing. And I know Kathy talks about that a lot with me, that my brother's coming through and telling me to kind of what to look out for. So she's an amazing human being, as well as is Mike. And I tell you, I'm blessed to get to have them as friends. I know me and John love their friendship, and we get to investigate with them.
Yeah,
Next
lucky
week.
This
duckies.
coming Saturday night.
You
Be
Texans.
there.
Oh, that's great.
Oh man, at the jail, and we are looking forward to that. That's gonna be cool.
Can you maybe wait? What day are you going there? Can you
Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay,
Get
but
you
like
down
maybe
here,
you
and maybe
could
if you leave
video me,
today.
show me something that you catch, or
Yeah, I
just
think
maybe
we
say
can-
hi. Even I don't care. Just,
I think
Between my equipment and Keith's equipment, we're going to catch something.
all right, there
we're
we
already
go.
thinking about an wow factor, because the those locations that those I know Mike has been and had some stuff. I went to the one, me and John, way out in like Kentucky or somewhere, and you talking about the screams,
Wow.
disembodied screams, and they explained to me what they why they were screaming, and then I kind of asked them. They says an all male jail. And then I realized the screams of the living person, probably what was happening, and they were like, "Oh yeah." So that's probably why these poor guys are being brutalized and God knows what. So the horror that went on there till their deaths were probably just ungodly to think of.
And Mike, I saw you were just someplace with Lindia too, right? Where's that coming up?
That's Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Her group's putting it on.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Keith and I are tagging along with her. But yeah,
Okay,
we met her. I met her. I mean, we've been Facebook friends, but we met Lindy about a couple months ago.
Yeah,
nice.
she came down and we got a chance to hang out a little bit, and we went to a location, and that was really special. And then she just started saying, "Hey, what about this and that?" We're like, "Well, if you start having stuff on weekends where we can maybe be really good," and Kathy says, "Okay," because that's that special time when you very rarely get to go to an amazing location. So.
Yeah, we need to get Kelly down to the Galvez also.
She's come. She just don't know it yet, but I'm gonna be getting one of those, maybe one of the suites where we can have
spring, summertime. I'm heading, west, middle of the country, south. I'll come visit you guys.
Wait till summer. There's a beach right across the street, Gulf of Mexico.
Decision made. There it is.
There it is, folks. 2022 is looking better by the minute.
That's right.
Mr. Mike Ketching, I will tell you, thank you
Mike.
more than this is really special. I've been talking about having him on the show, so we had this opportunity. I says let's make it happen, because man, oh man, does he have some opportunity. It's a target rich environment down there. If you ever get the chance, I will tell you, it's a very cool little spot. It's that it's not too big and crazy and the mayhem. It's just perfect enough to get in there and have a really cool time down there. And now they got like Dickens on the String going on, and
they just finished up.
Yeah. So
And Mike, how can people get in touch with you if they have questions or
Facebook? I guess that's about the easiest thing. Or our shop's Facebook page, Mysticats. A lot of these videos are on the shop page, so if anybody's interested, go to Mysticats on Facebook.
Okay.
You can see some of the crystals, and I think crystals feed the energy of the spirits. They draw energy off of them. So yeah.
Kelly would love. I've already been thinking. I go in there every time. She's like, "Oh, I love this one."
I know. Well,
her and Kathy will get along very well.
Oh yeah,
I can already see it.
Keith keeps mentioning like, "Oh, it's this amazing shop, and it's so cool, and they have these amazing things." And I'm like, "No, come on! Here's your Christmas present. You can't open it yet." So
yeah,
I'll have to go on your site too and watch the videos, and then maybe online shop, maybe. But
there you go. You see something? Let us know. Maybe we can ship it if it's not too big or heavy.
Nice.
Yeah, Christmas is coming, baby.
That's right. That's right. Aww. Well, thanks again for working out the technology, Mike, and sharing your experience. And
all right, enjoyed it.
Be in touch very soon about the next adventure. But I want to hear how Saturday works for all of you.
Oh yeah,
I'll be thinking of you.
We'll be.
Yeah.
Try to put some good stuff out there.
Take some group selfies for me.
All righty.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank
you. All right. Thanks, guys. See y'all.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right.
Man, oh man, the show we've been waiting for.
I'll tell you what. Listen here. So, okay. So I feel like I can't get enough of these stories. We might have to do a part 2 of this because
Yes.
I can't I want to hear more of everyone's different experiences, and I want to hear more of like varied experiences, I mean, I appreciated Tom sharing his cryptid experience and and the paranormal side of things and the history side of things even. So I really think we should do a part 2 of this.
Yep, and that's the thing. Once you have a fun time with just the one, and you think that was, and even as the time goes by so quickly, it just goes right into
I
the show
know.
begins, the show ends.
I know,
So
and I sit
that's
there like this. I'm I'm like hanging on every detail,
really,
So
really
I
good stuff.
really, yeah. So
Three
I
credible
really can't
guys.
wait.
That's what's the difference is when you get folks that you really trust and know that this is
Yeah.
stuff that they documented, they were there, and they back it up. So, well,
So are you ready for the trivia question?
folks, ladies and gentlemen, we are having a trivia night. We are.
You didn't know it, but now that you're in the chat,
I'm happy.
you know.
This is going to be cool.
So our main sponsor here, Dead is Not the End, clothing apparel company from Flip Searles. He is so generously, and you saw his Christmas ad on tonight. So his whole shop is like 30 or more % off for the next few days into like for the holiday season. So at the end of the show, I'm going to play that ad again. So if you didn't, there's a little like QR code you can click and anyone who's watching can scan and check out all his designs. But so he so generously said that one of his most popular designs gets to be mailed out to the winner.
I don't even have. I'm gonna maybe my ho show me the shirt.
Look,
what size is it?
Can you read it? He's going to send the right size and everything. Do you see this? Do you see there's cryptids and paranormal things? Yes. So, okay. So,
all right.
The trivia question if you want. So, if you're in the chat right now, get your hands ready. Okay. Like shake it out, like get them ready because you have to be the first one to type the answer to our trivia question in order to get the shirt mailed out to you.
So, here it goes.
Are you ready? So here's the trivia question, everyone in the chat.
Everybody's ready. Be paying attention.
That's right. There was a movie that was just released that many of us already have seen. If you didn't see it, you should go see it. But it's a remake of, not exactly a remake, but kind of an extension and references the original Ghostbusters, but it's the new one. Okay. So are you ready, chat? The people in the chat? Okay. So in the original Ghostbusters, you have to type the actor's name who played this guy. So type his name in the chat. The first.
All right, you see who that is.
So the actor in the original Ghostbusters that played this guy. The first person.
Be looking who that is.
This is a very realistic stuffed claw machine stuff of him. Oh, hot darn, Greg O'Brien. All right. Greg, you won. And you got it right. You got it right. Greg, this makes you sound like a horrible person, but I couldn't remember his name, the actor's name. But I had to learn it first.
Kathy put in something that I initially looked to until I saw that eyebrow, or how he did that. He was known for the eyebrow, how he would do that, kind of. And initially, if you look at it, you think Dan Aykroyd, and that's true, Kathy. And then I looked, I thought, wait, that's the guy with the eyebrow. Now, let me ask you a question. Here's another one. Is he still alive?
I don't know if I can answer this one. No, sadly, he's not.
Sadly. Okay, so folks, he did pass. He might have been one of the ones. That was okay.
Yep, he was. Yeah, but Greg, I'm so excited for you. It can be a belated birthday gift, but you have to send me your size and address.
So get with him about the sizes. Get with Kelly. Folks, this is one of the things
he's a viable dating option for me, don't you think?
Hey, he's gonna keep you warm. He's hanging out with you. He's not gonna
very cozy.
And that's like that's a collector's item maybe for some folks.
I'm not sure, but I thought he was pretty cool. You see a Spangler name tag right here?
See, you got that. That's it.
Yeah. So if you didn't see the new Ghostbusters 2, I mean, I thought it was good. Everybody that I talked to thought it was good. It was not what I expected, to be honest. It was not what I expected, but I thought it was done well, and I thought it was good, and the storyline was good, and there were a lot of cameos in it. But that's all I can say. I'm not going to ruin it for people.
You're not going to ruin it.
No.
Folks.
Yeah.
There
So,
you
Greg,
go.
I'm so excited for you. So just send me a private message, Greg, because we're buddies, your address and your size. And I'm going to mail your shirt out from Flip and Dead Is Not the End Clothing Company. And if you weren't the one with quick fingers in our chat tonight, at the end, right before our ending video, I will play that ad again. So you can snap the QR code with your phone and it will take you right to his online store. He has a ton of different designs, and he has some holiday designs he put up there. So if you have a paranormal lover in your life, of cryptids or anything paranormal, he has lots of variety on there, and you can make your own items and choose the colors and design and that sort of thing. So and it's all on sale right now, so you might as well get it for Christmas gifts, right?
Jump in there and do it, friends. If you don't have it, jump in there and do it. So it's good stuff.
That's
well,
right.
Bob's signing off. He's giving us a good night, everyone, in the show. Absolutely, Bob, and obviously Mike and Thomas. So much love. We really appreciate you getting to be part of the show. And I think Kelly summed it up when she said, "Are we thinking a part 2?" Yeah, it's too much not to some other folks out there. One of the things we ask folks as you watch the show, become part of the Talking Tech Paranormal happy little family.
Uh-oh. I think he froze up.
There, you can be a part of the show and come on and have this beautiful little adventure we call Talking Tech Paranormal that me and Kelly so dearly love, but we couldn't do it without you peeps. So
that's right.
As always, love and hugs and out there. So we really appreciate it so very much. So
yeah, that's right. That's right. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. It's the week of Christmas show with two of our special friends who have a wide array of experience and definitely a lot of interesting stories to tell. So we'll tell you who they are in the next day or two. But
secret stuff coming up.
That's right. But we will be back the Monday before Christmas. I believe it's the 20th. Maybe?
Yeah,
I think it's the 20th. But we'll be back with them. So make sure that you join us the week of Christmas, because you're definitely going to want to hear about their experience. They're just awesome. They're so fun. And
fun. That's not the word. They're hysterical.
They are hysterical. For sure.
God.
For sure.
One of them, I laugh until I go, oh. God,
yeah.
Stop.
Oh my gosh. Greg and George are hanging out this weekend. I'm really
so all the people, so me and Mike and then George and Greg.
Is this Vegas weekend?
And there's 4 other, and then the Vegas weekend. It's all over the place. Everywhere you go, fun and more fun. So we're thinking about hitting Vegas as well, so we can go do that. That's going to be fun.
Well, I'm telling you what, I will not be in Vegas this year, but I am so stoked for everyone who gets to go, and I hope to see lots of pictures. I hope everybody has a really good time, and I hope someone messages me with some embarrassing story. I don't know. It makes me wish I was there. So that's all. But yeah, so have fun and safe travels to everyone who's going to Vegas or down in Texas or anywhere this coming weekend. And we will be back in 2 weeks with our next guest. And it was great to see you tonight, Keith.
Love, hugs, and kisses, my dear.
Oh my gosh, right back to you. And I will talk to you sooner than later, because you can't get rid of me.
I can't. You're a part of me.
Oh, all right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you.
Night, everybody.